For this study, we analyzed a health insurance dataset containing 457 respondents using SPSS software. The variable examined were age, BMI, number of children, insurance charge, gender, smoking status, and religion. We apply both descriptive and inferential statistics. Descriptive statistics were used to summarize the data, while inferential statistics have identified difference between groups. The aim of this study is to understand the factor affecting medical insurance charge to show how statistical analysis can support better decision making.
Assalamualaikum, my name is BINTI A24B to 934. We're moving on to section 2.0, sampling and data selection. To ensure our data analysis was unbiased and statistically sound, we established a randomized selection rule using our group members' metric numbers, which you can see listed in the report. By extracting the last two digits of everyone's metric numbers, we determined our absolute limits. Our smallest number was 13 and our largest was 95. Using these parameters was calculated our target sample size and boundaries. Subtracting 13 from 500 gave us 487 and adding 95 to 500 gave us 595. This detected our objective. We needed to select a completely random sample of exactly 487 cases from the first 595 data entries in our master dataset using SPSS. Let me walk you through exactly how we executed this random sampling in SPSS, as documented in image 1 to 5 with the step below. First, we open our active dataset containing variables like age, BMI, and medical charges. Next, we went to the top menu bar, clicked on data, and selected the select case option. This brought up a dialog box where we choose random sample of cases and open the specific sample criteria window. As you can see in image 3 and 4, we explicitly instructed SPSS to take exactly 487 cases from the first 595 cases. Finally, to ensure our working workspace remained clean and limited only to our chosen sample, we selected delete unselected cases and click OK. This successfully left us with our randomized subset ready for analysis. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Nasrullah bin Muhammad Nazi. This slide presents the descriptive statistic for 487 respondents. The average is 39.19 years, indicating that most respondents are middle-aged adult. The average BMI is 30.63, which falls within the obese category. For medical charge, the mean value is 12930.88 unit. The height standard deviation show that healthcare costs differ greatly among respondents. Lastly, respondents have an average of one child with a mean of 1.05 children.
Assalamualaikum. My name is AMIRAH binti MOHD and my matric number is A23A1672. In this section, I will explain the graphical representations used in our analysis. First, we look at the P chart for smoker status. The chart shows that the majority of respondents are non-smoker, making up 81.31% of the data, while only 18.69% are smokers. This indicates that most individuals in the data set do not smoke, and the distribution between smokers and non-smokers is clearly uneven. Next, the P chart for gender shows that females account for 50.92%, while males represent 49.8%. This means the gender distribution is almost equal with only a slight difference. Because of this balance, the dataset is not biased toward any particular gender. Moving on to the histogram for charges, we can see that the distribution is positively skewed or skewed to the right. Most of the values are concentrated at the lower range, but there are a few very high values that create a long tail on the right side. This suggests that while most individuals have lower medical costs, a small number experience very high expenses. Lastly, the histogram for BMI shows an approximately normal or bell-shaped distribution. Most BMI values are clustered around the mean of 30.63, indicate that the majority of respondents fall within a moderate BMI range. This type of distribution is useful because many statistical methods assume normality. In conclusion, this graph helps us better understand the data. The charge variable shows high variability and skewness, while gender and BMI are more balanced and stable. That's all for this section. Thank you.
My name is Nur Alianisha binti Maliki. Biometric number A23A1734. In this section, I will explain about hypothesis testing. The null hypothesis (HO) states that there is no significant difference in the distribution of respondents based on smoking status, gender and region. The alternative hypothesis H1 states that there is a significant difference in the distribution of respondents based on these factors. Hypothesis testing, a statistical method used to determine whether the observed differences are significant or happen by chance. There are four main objectives. First, decision making, to accept or reject null hypothesis. Second, testing assumption, to evaluate assumption about respondent characteristic. Third, comparison analysis, to compare different groups and identify significant difference. Four, probability-based conclusion, to make reliable conclusion using p-value and significant levels. In summary, hypothesis testing helps research make accurate, evidence-based conclusion and determine whether difference in the data are statistically significant.
Assalamualaikum, my name Nur Aizam binti Azhir, my metric number A23A1984. This slide explains hypothesis testing, which is used to determine whether there is a significant difference between groups. The independent sample t-test compares the mean of two independent groups, while one-way ANOVA compares the means of three or more groups. The null hypothesis H0 states that there is no significant difference, whereas the alternative hypothesis H1 states that a significant difference exists. These tests help researchers identify whether the difference in the data are statistically significant or occur by chance.
My name is Nur Hidayatullah binti Hisham. My metric number is A23A1972. Based on the group statistic table, we can observe the mean age difference between the two groups, which is 4 children has a mean age of 39.4 with a standard deviation of 11.345. The group with 5 children has a lower mean age of 32.67 with a standard deviation of 14.487. Next, we look at the independent sample test. First, the Levian test shows a significance value of 0.415. Since the value is greater than 0.05, we assume equals is the range. Looking at the t-test result, the significant two-tailed value is 0.317 because is greater than 0.05. This indicates that there is no statistically significant difference in age between these two groups of respondents. Additionally, we look at the independent sample effect size. The Cohen d-value is 0.536. This suggests that the effect size of the difference between the groups is At the medium level, even though the statistical test shows the difference is not significant.
My name is Zulkifli bin Muhammad and my matric number is A23A2295. I will present the result of our age comparison analysis, specifically looking at the difference in age between the respondent with 4 children and those with 5 children. As shown in the table on the slide, the mean age for the group with 4 children is 39.40 years, while the group with 5 children has a mean age of 32.67 years. Roughly speaking, there is a mean difference of about 6.733 years between the two groups. However, when we look at the p-value, which is 0.415, we can see that it is much higher than the significant level of 0.05. Therefore, this difference in age is not statistically significant. In conclusion, we do not have sufficient evidence to claim a true difference in mean age between the two groups. We can consider the age distribution of the two groups to be similar.
Hi, my name is Aida Farisa binti Muhammad Nasri and my matric number is A23A17688. I will present the one-way ANOVA analysis conducted to determine whether there is a significant difference in meaning insurance charges according different regions. The null hypothesis assumes that there is no significant difference in mean insurance charges among regions. Meanwhile, the alternative hypothesis H1 states there is a significant difference in mean insurance charges among regions. Based on the ANOVA result, the F value is 0.029 with degrees of freedom of 3 and 483. The p-value is 0.993. Since the p-value of 0.993 is greater than the significance level of 0.05, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. Therefore, there is no statistically significant difference in mean insurance charges according the regions. This indicates that regional location does not significantly affect insurance charges. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Makim bin Muhammad Nizam, number matric A23B2513. I will continue with the conclusion part. For the conclusion, the use of statistical sampling and inferential analysis techniques was successful in this study to examine the characteristics of the respondents and to see the possible differences of selected variables. The process highlighted the significance research sampling in research and how this can enhance the validity and reliability of the research. In addition, the use of statistical software also enabled the researchers to select and analyze the data with precision, enabling them to reach valid conclusions from the data. The inferential statistical analysis offered useful insight to the relationship between variables investigated. These findings corroborate the null hypothesis and emphasize the use of statistical evidence in research conclusion. This also enhanced the understanding of the data set and underscore the importance of statistical analysis as a valuable tool in the academic research and application in the world.